a typical answer is like, dancing makes me feel free, it makes me feel expressive, it makes me full of joy. But it's not even that for me. Like, dance makes me feel like really physical. Like, I enjoy, I'm only 5 feet tall, I'm a really small human being, and I like feeling big, that I can like stretch my limbs and take up space and be powerful. I enjoy sweating. I like being out of breath. This is the first time that I'm deciding to work with people who I don't know, and spent a lot of time talking with the dancers in our first get together and in our second session, that this process is actually becoming a lot deeper for me. As we're going through it, I'm really realizing how much weight it is in my work for me to actually know people, to know their bodies, to know their personalities, to be able to not just dance with them, but to be with them. I don't like the term social butterfly, but I like people. I'm a community builder. I love talking to people. I love hearing their stories. I love meeting people for the first time. And it's interesting, so I would think of myself as like the classic extrovert, but I'm also someone who sort of keeps a lot of my thinking or a lot of my anxieties or a lot of the inner workings of me really stay inside of me, so I don't often engage people in an intimate way of conversation. So sometimes I don't think necessarily that even people I'm really close to, like my family, really understand what it is I'm going through or how hard I'm working to make this a successful endeavor in my life and to really move this Ballaro dance project from a hobby to a career. My family often thinks that it is too much, and because they don't necessarily see the fruits, which might be, you know, for someone like my dad, the monetary income of something like Ballaro dance, that it's hard to justify why I spend my time doing this. And it's hard to justify why I spend a lot of my own personal resources on something like this. We started with class. We went through a whole bunch of different phrase work, some traditional modern dance phrases that I created for tonight, and then we started to work on 2 smaller sections of repertory. One being rooted in one particular leg of my work, which I like to think of as more character-driven, narrative-based. It often incorporates a lot of writing and reflection for me, and it's very gestural. So I like to think of small gestures, using the hands and the face to create really powerful images, and they're often very minimal. I was always concerned that I was a dancer because my mom was a dancer. That I thought, oh, if my dad was, you know, Olympic soccer coach or something, that I would be a soccer star or whatever. I always just felt like I had the power to do something really smart, you know, what people thought smart was, which is like doctor, lawyer. And when I was thinking about going to college, I had to sort of pick. People were saying, well, you either have to go to a conservatory and really follow your art, or you have to pursue academics. We also worked on a piece that's more dancey dance, and it's from a work of mine titled Catch Flow. And it's in a traditional 6-time, so there's a sense of riding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with triplets, and very traditional modern dance. And so it was an awesome opportunity to see both sides of my work on this new group of dancers. The biggest compliment to me is when I get off of a stage and someone says, oh, I didn't realize you were that tiny, you know? And I'm like, that's right, I am this tiny. And when I dance in a class, I try to put myself with the tallest person in the room, and I try to push myself to move as large as they can, with as much space and as much power. And there is something very freeing in that. It's not that I feel free, but it's freeing. And I'm a bit of I'll politely say control freak. I like to do things the way I like them to be done, and I like to have them in my jurisdiction, not in my control, but in my space. And there's something about dance that just makes me feel like I can tip over at any time, or I can be off balance, and I can not be perfect or not be in control all the time, and that feels freeing to me. And to be tiny and to have the power to move with power is empowering. Sounds like a slogan for a t-shirt, I guess. But I just love taking up space. Oh man, I just love it.